Welcome to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. Now, here's your host, the Image Master, Holly Porter.
How are you today? I wanted to share a little bit about time because that's our word of the week. And I'd like to start with a quote because you know me, I like quotes. So there's only one more thing precious than time, and that's who we spend it with. And I really think that's so true because we all have the same 24 hours in a day that we can work on things. And, you know, it always has interested me when I've always been known to be very busy. And it interests me when people would say, I just don't have time for that. And you know what? What's important for you is what you're going to make time for. So that's just a little thing that I've always thought, you know, then if they tell me that whatever it is they're talking about is not important enough to them and it doesn't rank high enough on their to-do list, because we're going to be talking about those in a minute, that they want to take the time to take care of it. And so, you know, like I said, we all have the same 24 hours, right? We all can budget our time and use it accordingly to how we need to. And I do realize that there are people that hijack our time. You know, sometimes we have time waster friends or, you know, family that, you know, but sometimes they just need our support. And so don't be so booked up with your time that you're not willing to spend it with somebody who needs it at that moment. So I think that brings in, you know, your intuition to it, that you stop and think, you know, who might need that time from you today. And so don't schedule yourself so tight. So this is what we're going to talk about for a minute here. We're going to talk about the to-do list that we all, you know, dread at times in our lives. And getting organized. It's a new year. It's a great time to start some new, you know, things that you want to add to your daily tasks, some new goals, some new regimens, whatever you want to call it. But it's a great time to start. So when we talk about a to-do list, you know, sometimes we roll our eyes and we think, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Another to-do list? Oh, okay. So how about we create our to-do list to be our success list? So we can say it's our success list, okay? And refer to that because we all want to be successful. So I came up, and if you've heard me teach this before, then just bear with me. If not, it's a good repeat for all of us. So I came up with the 4 to-dos. There's want to do, have to do, need to do, and screw the to-dos. And that's how I categorize the to-do list, okay? So we all know, you know, what we want to do usually ends up at the top of our list. And because that's what we want to do. It's fun. It's something we want to take care of. So think about that as you're categorizing. So as you're doing your to-do list, maybe put it in 4, you know, little graph there and 4 different categories. 3 are really what you're going to work on every day. The only one the screw to-dos goes on is when you've had it and you need a break. And I call that your mental health day. So when you screw the to-do list and the success list, then that's because you need a day off. So the mental health day is the only time we use the screw to-dos, okay? So we have the have to-dos, and those are the things that you really do just have to get done. Like they are priority, okay? And we'll talk about a couple things, how we categorize that in a minute. And then you have the need to-dos, and those are different than the have to-dos. Okay, the have to do's are things that just they have to get done, and the need to do's are the things that need to get done. But need to do's don't always get done, right? Are you tracking me? So this is my 3D system that I teach, is do it, delegate it, or delete it. So that gives you 3 choices of what to do. So once you make your list and you put it in your want to do, have to do, or need to do's of the day, then figure out if you're going to do it and get it done and it goes off the list, if you're going to delegate it and you're going to give it to somebody else so that it still gets completed, or you're just going to get rid of it. You're either going to move it to a different day on the calendar, you're going to get rid of it altogether because maybe it's not a have to do or a need to do. Maybe it is a want to do and you'll just do it another time. Okay, so do it, delegate it, delete it. So decide where that fits. And then the other thing that I talk about is trivial many and critical few. So if you have the trivial many, those are all those things that usually the want to do's are the trivial many. Sometimes they're the need and haves, but you know what's on your list and you know what you need to do. So the trivial many are all the things, sometimes we'll just get tons of things done, but the critical few, so maybe that 1 item or 2 items on your list didn't come off your list because you did all the trivial many things that you were wanting to do because they were fun, and the critical had to get done things still didn't get done because you did a whole bunch of little things. Because if you're like me and you do have a checklist, I love checklists. I love the feeling of check, check, check. It's done, right? It's like that feeling of completion. So the more checks I have, the more excited I am. Well, that's your trivial many. So what I would suggest is figure out what the most productive time of the day is for you, okay? And I know I say this, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. are mine. I tell Scott, sorry you missed it. But those are the times I have noticed that I am the most productive. So schedule your critical few and your have to do and need to do's in that time frame of the day when you know you're going to be most productive. If it's at night for you, then you may need to change your work schedule and maybe you need to break it up during the day and work some hours in the evening. Maybe that's your schedule. And if that's when you're most productive, that's okay. I mean, we just need to get it done, correct? So figure out when that is. And then also another thing that really helps me, and I'm getting better at it all the time, is I take, excuse me, I take little 15-minute chunks during the day and I do as much as I can. So I'll pick a project and then I'll mark off 15 minutes. So if you want to say an hour of that a day or 2 hours of your day is a 15-minute chunk, then in that 15 minutes, set a timer. When it's done, you're done. If you didn't complete the task, too bad. That's the rule, right? So 15 minutes and you get everything you can done in that to-do that you need to in that 15 minutes. And that has been amazing. Like for an example, if you have a home office and you have somebody coming over and your house is a wreck or company's coming just for anyone else, how fast can you straighten and clean your house? I mean, you might throw everything in the closet or under the bed, but like how fast all of a sudden you're this miracle worker and you can clean so fast, right? You just get it all done. So that's what I'm sharing is take that momentum, that 15 minutes and just say, turn off your phone, turn off everything, but set the timer, okay, so that you can watch it. And just take that 15 minutes and you'll be amazed what you can really get done in 15 minutes, okay? If it's a bigger project and you think you can handle 30, then take 2 of your 15-minute chunks and put them together and do that in 30 then. That'll work as well. So you just have to find what motivates you, okay? And we all need reward systems. It can be big or it can be little. Like, I don't care if it's a treat, whatever your treat may be, or it's an elaborate vacation somewhere far away. Like, whatever works for you to have those set in your time. And when you get it done, And maybe every day you tally it up. And if you stick to your schedule, like I said, don't budget your schedule so tight that you don't have flexibility or time for people, because things just happen and things come up. So at the end of the day, if that happened to you and things came up, what I want you to do is figure out where it goes. Did you do it, delegate it, or delete it? Okay. And by deleting it, it can be put on another day, that task, okay, that need to do or have to do. Don't sabotage yourself. Be your best cheerleader, because it's only going to make you happier. And the time we spend, we want to be a happy people. So spend your time where it's going to make you happy. And if it's not, why are you doing it? Like, figure it out. Make a plan so that every minute of your life, you can say, I'm pretty happy. Like, it's all about being happy. And remember, we don't take all our stuff with us when we go out. So sometimes those things aren't the most best way to spend our time, right? Is to get more stuff necessarily. We all have enough stuff. Remember, relationships are super important. And those are my tips of the day on time. I hope you enjoyed them. And I hope that later when I read some comments that we can collaborate on something and talk about things. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your week. And to top it off, the best 2018 ever. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. You can learn more about them at theimagedesigners.com or email Holly at hollyporter.com.